Good morning, friends. I'm using a brand new Sophie's Art Supply Mixed Media Journal, 140 pounds. Here's the supplies that I use for today. So, hoo hero markers, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I love this journal. I had some extras because I taught a kids art journaling class this year. So I had a few extras. I'm going to start a brand new one. So what we're going to do is called intuitive art, which I suppose if you don't feel like you know what your intuition is, that can be kind of intimidating. But it basically is just, there's no rules. You're not really starting with an end in mind. You just kind of let your hand move and use whatever you want in the moment. I found a tutorial video, and I will post the link below, from Rod Bergeron. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Sorry. So that's where this page was inspired by. So he's got a nice video on what it means to do intuitive art. And I will be the first to admit that I almost always need some kind of inspiration. When I sit down to be creative, I got nothing. I should say most of the time, I got nothing. So I need to look at something on Pinterest, or look up a video, or it could even be an object in the room. But as far as coming up with an idea in the blank recesses of my mind, it usually doesn't happen. So I'm starting with, these are pigment ink markers that I got from Hobby Lobby. They were half off. They were cheap. They're different. They come in different sizes. And so I did borrow a lot of elements from Ron's video. He started with some similar squiggly lines, and sometimes I feel like that's like training wheels. Like you start with a little bit of imitation, and then once you get the wheels rolling, you just keep going, and then you're no longer relying on another inspiration piece, but you've tapped into your creative energy, which I believe everyone has creative energy. Maybe energy is not the right word. I believe we're all created in the image of a creator. I believe God created everything that exists, and he created us, and we're made in his image. So therefore, we possess within us the ability to create. And for some people, it's visual art. Some people, it can be music or culinary or craftsmanship. I think we all possess the potential to discover our inner creator. So after I made the initial lines, which were, different geometric shapes, circles, squares, rectangles, whatever, it created little pockets with boundaries. I guess you could call it negative space. So I'm just going in. These are alcohol ink markers, and so far everything I'm using I just had to check right there. I'm like, are these? Everything I'm using will not smudge and smear if I put Mod Podge over the top. Sometimes if I use a water-based marker or ink, and then I go over it with watercolors or with Mod Podge at the end, it has a tendency to smear a little bit. So I was trying to avoid that. So that was the one intentional thing I did. But there's still a way you can use Mod Podge and seal a page, even if you have water-based. You just are a little bit more careful about kind of dabbing it on, and I guess dabbing's the right word, as opposed to just wiping it all over the page. So this is where I think this is the fun part of just not overthinking things. I really, now, even though it's intuitive, the more that you do art, the more elements of art start to just come naturally, like the rule of thirds, the rule of three, odd numbers, balance, symmetry, or non-symmetry, if that's, I don't really tend to like things that are symmetrical. But when you spend a lot of time on composition, I've been a photographer for a long time, amateur. Some of those elements just kind of come. So like when you're choosing which colors to put where, it's natural to, just pause in between and go, okay, what else? What other little square wants pink? Where should I put this pink one? And but not overthink it. Just kind of follow your intuition and enjoy the process. It really is. This is a playground. This is really about kind of, I don't know. I feel like there's a part of our brains, our subconscious, that needs to play. And so often we don't even give it the time to do that because we're so busy trying to be productive in life. And, we have a lot of responsibilities. So I love that about this kind of art, or any art really. Okay, so now I'm using Papermate Inkjoy gel pens, and these are not water resistant, but they do dry very quickly, and so they don't tend to smudge too badly. So again, you just have to be careful if you're going to cover it with a seal or go over it with water. That's why if I'm using watercolors, I try to make sure I am not putting watercolors on anything that's water soluble. But I really like these pens. I use them every day in other journaling. And this pen is a dual metallic pen that I have had, I think, for like 15 years. My twins are 17 and I started scrapbooking when they were babies, and I think I bought that pen back then. So it has lasted forever. So I don't know if they sell that exact pen anymore, but it's a full-on paint pen. So you shake it up and you have to dab it and get it primed. Sometimes it comes out a little too much, and then I just use that little reservoir to dab all over. So I'm just doing dots wherever it feels right to do a dot. And after that's dry, I went in with the smallest pen to make the tiniest lines. This is like a 0.05 millimeter. So I'm nearing the end here, and for me, when I just can't think of anything else to do, when I look at it and it feels complete, that's when I know I'm done. So here's the finished product with an angle so you can see the reflection of the silver dots. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think and give it a try.